What's up, brothers and sisters? It's your brother G World 7, G World 7 score D on the track. Where's that? Did my running. I'm doing my little walk down. I want to talk about something, man, that's been on my mind. I've mentioned a little bit in my previous videos, but I want to say this because it's been on my mind. Because I've heard other YouTubers mention this, but it's really been on my mind. I had originally subscribed to this person, man, and just because I said, listen to this sister, this woman. I said, okay. She said something a little bit decent, but when you really listen to her videos, man, it's kind of scary because other people have mentioned this. There's been a couple people. What I noticed, this is unfortunate, that you have a segment of individuals who, a lot of them are foreign blacks, man. This doesn't apply to all, who really want to push a particular agenda, and they want to use the black Aboriginal American, black American's face, man, to it. And I'm talking about this one sister. All she talks about is colorism. There's several of them that do that mess, man. And she said something that really I knew wasn't true, but it was kind of shady. I think she's Nigerian descent. But she has stated about HBCUs, and she went to HBCU for a year or the beginning of college time, and her father is a professor at an HBCU school. If that's the case, then it's scary, because she said the statement, which I knew wasn't true, said that when she went to an HBCU school, they had the paper bag test. They don't do that, man. They did that back in the day. They don't do that now. And that's be illegal, man. They'll basically, she said a particular fraternity did it, but she wanted to mention it. I think she was trying to hint it to AKAs. All right, I don't care for none of these fraternities or sororities. Sorority. It's sorority. See, a particular sorority was doing that, and it was AKAs. And I said, oh my goodness, man. I'm like, what? Are you serious? They're not. I know AKAs in a lot of instances have a certain look, but there's plenty of dark-skinned women that were AKAs, but they have a certain look. I admit that. But I don't get into none of that stuff, like I said. But this chick made the statement, said they had a paper bag test on campus, and she was subjected to that. I said, that's a damn lie. They not doing that now, man. They'll expel them bastards for that, man. They will not do that now. Like I said, that might have been done back in the early 60s. The mid-60s, it was under that Black Power stuff and Afro, and it would have been called out if they even tried that. The early 60s, they might have been doing that. They might have been doing that in the early 60s, but not, I'll say the mid-60s, that stuff was starting to be shut down. So I don't buy that when she said they were doing that on the college campus today. I'm not saying there's no colorism, because it is, but I don't buy that. See, in my family, my father's like dark brown, my mother's dark skin, all right? And most of us are dark brown. My brother's a little bit, one of my brothers, a little bit like, I can say he's like a lighter brown. So we all come in different shades. You can have two dark-skinned parents, you produce a light kid. You can have two light-skinned parents and produce a dark child. I've seen that in the black community. But when she said that, I said, that's disingenuous, man. And then she just sits up there talking about colorism all the time. And then then she goes back to the 90s, and start talking about, Moesha and all this stuff. And hell, to some degree, she went to the 80s with the Cosby Show. Remember the Cosby Show? Bill Cosby, kids came in various different shades. His kids, and one of his daughters was like spaced out, Lisa Bonet. Lisa Bonet actually was probably one of the perfect persons to play her daughter, even though I wish they wouldn't got Lisa Bonet old bimbo ass. She has a deep root of self-hatred. I guess she hates the fact that she has black in her. But one of her daughters, I don't know if that's the one who died recently, uh, kind of resemble her because I remember back in when she was younger, man. She was Lisa Bonet really resembled her. The the Lisa Bonet of a different world really resembled that girl. So I don't know, man, but his kids came in various different shades because his wife is light skinned, Camille, and Bill Cosby's, I can say, it's dark brown, you know. And in the show, you can have two brown skinned parents with two children of very different shades. And she said, well, they have a bunch of several of the lighter women are mixed and everything. No. Sabrina LeBeau is not mixed. I remember her saying that on TV shit. I'm not mixed. I'm black, straight black. I think she just light skinned or something. She might be what you call so-called Creole, but people need to understand the so-called original Creoles were just a bunch of dark-skinned Negroes, man. so I mean, all this mess. Oh, they mixed. No. Most of them Negroes are straight up Negroes, man. But I digress on that. That's another time, another video. But she's just a light-skinned woman. I think she's an insurance agent or something, or sells homes or something like that in that market. But she really don't do acting like that anymore. But Sabrina LeBeau, I remember her saying it, man, I'm just black. But since she was on a Geraldo show, on her show, because there was an issue about that back in the day. And I remember Sabrina was like very, very unhit about that. I'm just black. And she said, my parents are not mixed. And I remember saying that too. So yeah, but see, people need to understand. People need to understand the history of Black Americans, Aboriginal Americans, which I don't think a lot of foreign blacks do. I ain't say all. I said a lot because they basically going by what they learned from white folks or some Negro like Henry Louis Gates who don't know what the hell he talking about. He never married no black woman. His first wife was straight up white. Now he claimed his wife was Afro-Latina, looked like a white woman. And the Afro-Latinos, they're being hijacked by people who are, quote, not black but claim to be Latino. And I know you have light-skinned black Latinos and dark-skinned black Latinos, but their stuff being hijacked themselves by these other individuals who claim to be Negroes when it's convenient for their ass. But I digress on that one. But yeah, she was saying it. And she seemed to make these colorism videos. Her and Alejo, man, that chick seemed to make these colorism videos about black Americans. And they always use black American men. They never talk about their damn men. Man, they never talk about their damn men. And it's another one who does it. Start talking about black men, this and that. And it was mainly talking about black American men. Yet, of all these black men, it's black American men who probably be more willing to probably go out with their ass compared to their own damn men. Most black American men who do go to Brazil, they go after black Brazilian women. Some of them go after some light skin, some of them go after these white women, some of them go after these light skinned, exotic so-called women, but most of them go after black women. I don't agree with the passport bros, but most of them go after black women actually in Brazil. They're not chasing no white women. I remember one of these little African dude YouTubers, he was talking about German women, and all the German women he propped up were non-black. When I was a black guy, he talking about the black German woman. In fact, the football player married a black German woman. Former football player E.J. Manning from Florida State, he was with the Buffalo Bills. He married a black German woman. That's a black woman. He married a black German. And Randall Cunningham married a black South African woman, if I'm correct. Jager, whatever that woman's name is, because his daughter is trying to get into the Olympics. I want to say she does the pole vault or the high jump. One of those things she does. And I think her son was playing football, but he might be doing track too. I'm not sure on that one, but because I know one of his sons drowned in the pool, and his older brother died last year, year before last, Sam Bam Cunningham. So former running back for the USC Trojans and New England Patriots, or the Boston Patriots, New England Patriots. Yeah, he didn't play for the Boston Patriots, I don't believe, but yeah, man. So it's like you hear these individuals, and all they do is talk about colorism, and that exists. It does. Because I got some self-hating Negroes on one half of my father's side of the family, man. But and them Negroes seem like they love white folk. But they're not also trying to get black. Whatever. But these individuals, and there's numerous these African women who are doing this, some Caribbean women, like Chrissy, who are doing this, man. And I don't want brothers and sisters to really listen to these clowns because they're cosplaying as us, man. They're not us. They're not Aboriginal North Americans or Aboriginal Black North Americans. You want to use that term because I'm throwing black up in there. People know what the hell I'm talking about. When you say Aboriginal, man, you get these little other people try to hijack that when they're not Aboriginal. But I take that back. I move on from that. But we got to realize that there's a people who maybe physically look like us, but hate it. And I ain't said all. Like I told you before on my other videos, I rooted for the black French women in the Women's World Cup and how they end up losing the game on some damn penalty kicks. Man, that's stupid. Whatever. She ended up losing the game playing in Australia's backyard because the French team, man, mostly nothing but black women. In fact, it seems like majority of sports team nothing but black people. But yeah, so I rooted for them, you know. Then I sort of rooted for what's the other team that had a bunch of black folks on there. I think it was Panama. So I rooted for them, man. But I wanted them to win, you know, especially the French team. I really want them to win because I thought it was the best time for them to win. They ended up losing, but because USA was knocked out. But I'm sitting there, I'm listening to these YouTubers. And that's all they talk about is colorism. 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 Every time. Moel, I don't know her name. I don't know, but every time, but Alejo and this other chick, I forgot her name, but I think she might be in Sweden or something, one of those damn countries. And, you know, she fled too, or family fled too, but they sit there and they just love to talk about black Americans. It was this one chick, she was talking crazy about black Americans, but yet styled herself as a black American woman. I guess she went back to Nigeria. She's an entertainer. She came back recently to Chicago talking about Chicago's my hometown. I said, this heifer, man, must have grown up on the north side, but I think she was in parts of the south side. But I think she grew up in the north side. She couldn't have grew up around black folks on the south side. All right, even though you're starting to have more other blacks on the south side, you are. I mean, you always had some Haitians on the south side of Chicago, a few Haitians, because I knew them coming up. You had a few black Puerto Ricans, a few Dominican blacks, believe it or not, that are not on the north side, but on the south side. All right, and you had a few Africans, because I remember one of my early videos I mentioned, this African dude, man, he was cool with my brother, man. He kept hollering about when he was going downtown, my brother and sister yelling at every white woman, calling him Judy. That dude, man, whatever. He became a big-time drug dealer. I think they expelled his ass, exported him out of this country, man. And they shipped him to the Great Britain, and then they shipped him back to his home country, which I believe is Ghana. Them dude became a big-time drug dealer, man. Threatening to put physical body harm on people, man. Yeah, but yeah, man. So to sit up there and also say that how these different groups don't want to be around Black Americans, that's not true, because there's plenty of nice Black American neighborhoods. I said the Morgan Park, Beverly area, the Calumet Heights, which is the part of its Pill Hill area, parts of South Shore where they cul-de-sac your ass in the nice part. Ashburn, not bad. This is the south side I'm naming. It's a few other areas, man. What's that other area about 107? By Vincent. I'm running a blank. I'm running a blank in that particular area. I want to get Longwood. Longwood is not bad. Longwood Manor is not bad. But that's out in the hundreds. And Washington Heights is not bad. That's where a lot of them older blacks who live there. No, that's not bad. But see, a lot of them are now want to come into certain black neighborhoods. As I mentioned before, it's an Ethiopian church over on, it's not Torrance, but it's a little bit over east of Torrance. The next street is an church. It's been there for a nice minute. You know, it used to be a Catholic church, now it's an Ethiopian church. Right there on the far south side of Chicago, near where the Wisconsin Steel factory used to be. You know, as you're heading towards the location that is called, that's South Deering still, but I think it's you're heading towards Hegewisch in the east side area. You know, so I don't know. I think that I'm not sure if that's Hegewisch or east side. If that's still South Deering, that part, and maybe brushing the Hegewisch. I gotta be, but it's over east. All right, it may be hitting Hegewisch. But yeah, it's over east. Like it's near Northwest Indiana, which is Hammond, because I'm not far from Hammond. But yeah, Hammond's like close to the south side of Chicago, parts of south side of Chicago, than downtown. All right, especially if you live far, far south. But this chick and a lot of these other African women, all they do is talk about colorism and they attack black men, black American men. And they have a hatred towards light-skinned black women. And to some degree, they use dark-skinned black women, don't like them. Because they always talk about colorism than featureism. And even if you get a dark-skinned black woman here and a dark-skinned woman from Africa, a lot of time our features are different. I think some black women here really should be offended by that. Because our features vary here in America because we have very different groups of Aboriginal blacks and black Europeans here. I know people don't want to hear that about the black Europeans, but they did mix in with black people here. You have a large number of black people who came from Scotland here, who were expelled out of Europe, and they mixed in with a lot of the black groups. And they had goofy terms like mulatto, which had nothing to do with race. Just had two different groups of black people. These white folks, man, they ran a scheme on us, man. Most of us, like I said before, we're not African, man. We don't come from Africa. Well, let me rephrase this. I'm not denying the fact there was cultural exchange. All right, that's something we got to talk about more. But when I'm talking about how we are Aboriginal blacks to this land, yes, we are. Some of you don't want to hear this, but yes, we are. Most of our ancestors were already here, and then you had a lot of black Europeans who came to Virginia, who were shipped to Virginia, in places like Tennessee. It's a mixture. That's why I show you in my books the Egyptians over in Africa and Egyptians over here in America. It's the reason I keep showing you that, because I'm showing you the similarities, because the Aboriginal blacks were already here. You have to understand that. But and notice they just sit up there, these women, some men, talk about black Americans all the time. And then there's this one dude, he used to talk about black American women like dogs, man. He was an African dude. The black American women, the black American, it's like I said, dude, you're not even American. And he was with a white woman, by the way. Nothing surprising. But this Negro, I forgot his YouTube page. I had written it down. I said, look at this Negro, man. Someone looking more at his video. Look at the Negro talking nonsense. Man, we got some crazy ass black women here. Man, we do. We got some crazy ass black women here, but I know that we got some great black women because my mother's one of them. My sisters are. Like there's some of their ways, but I know we got plenty of great black women here. So I'll never trash all black American women because that's not accurate. That's being ignorant. But you have too many of our people who buy into these clowns, who get on YouTube, saying this stuff, and they're making it as if this word is bond. They're telling you the all-out truth when they're lying to you. We got to stop listening to some of these foreign Negroes, man, and some of these homemade Negroes, because they gaslight it. I guess they're gassing up some of these women's head to talk trash about black people here. Anyone say up there and say we don't have no culture, but you're cosplaying as black people, black Americans. Man, that's not cool. And you're being very deceiving, and you're being evil. And you're also being a damn snake. So we gotta really stop that, man. And that really bothers me when I'm hearing this mess, man. Because it's very sickening. You sit up there lying, and yet you get these goofy white folks who, some of them act like they can't tell the difference. There's some of them who can tell the difference, man. Some of them can tell the difference. They act like they can't tell the difference, man. And they sit there and listen to these clowns and they going around trying to be us. Like I said, I'm not attacking all. It's a segment on there who all they do, they have maybe doing it for YouTube hits. I don't know, man, but there's a hatred towards Aboriginal Americans, man. There's a hatred. They don't want to sit there and tell us who we are, but they don't know who we are. They really don't know who we are. And a lot of them are afraid that when we really identify our true history, that they cannot capitalize off of us anymore, exploit us no more, just like white folks have done. I'm going to say this again, and I said this in previous videos. If you're not an Aboriginal Black American, you are a guest in the culture. You are a guest. No matter if you have darker skin, you are a guest. Period. You are a guest in our culture. You're not an Aboriginal person of the culture, you are a guest. But there's a lot of things that these white folks are pushing themselves, man. These white folks give these Negroes a platform to push this agenda and to try to basically divide us. And some of us have bought into it. But when you when you look at a lot of these women, they have a self-hatred of themselves, and some of them worse whiteness. But when they, excuse me, when you get them to really speak on some real issues, they won't do that. They won't speak on the real issues that basically uplifting our community. So all they doing is exploiting our community. And these niggas out here shooting already in the morning. But all they doing is exploiting our community, man. And that's a damn shame. They're exploiting our community, exploiting our people in our community. And it's a sad, sick thing, man. And this is something that we really gonna have to talk about. We really gonna have to stop. These individuals are exploiting our history, our culture, our community, and who we really are. They're exploiting it. You know? And for the most part, you can tell the difference. But these Negroes been getting on the line telling, well, Black Americans, not Indians. The Indians are no. The people who you call Mongolian people, and the original Mongolian people were black themselves, darker skinned melanated people, are the foreigners. Those are the Native Americans. The Aboriginal people are black. So stop getting this stuff confused, man. And I hear them sit there and say, well, them black people claiming that Black Americans are ashamed to be out. We're not ashamed of anything. We're proud of who we are. We're Aboriginal Black Americans. That's who we are. Aboriginal Americans, Aboriginal North Americans. This is our land, man. This is our land. This is our home. Don't tell us that we come from 1,000 miles away, making us a foreigner in our own land. Stop sitting there causing the divide amongst us with that nonsense, man. Making us something, a foreigner, to a land that we're indigenous to. But you have these numerous women that are doing this, man. Yeah, a few of them who not only disguise themselves as Black Americans, because cosplayers as Black Americans, but they're dating a Black American man, and they make themselves look like a Black American woman, cosplaying, and won't tell the dude that they're of their particular ethnic background. Now, most time, I can tell. There's few people going to blend this in, but I can tell, man. But these Negroes are doing this, man. So some of these women are doing that. But then you hate Black American women. Man, that's not cool. So that's my little quick video. I guess you say it's sort of like a so-called morning rant or early sunrise rant. Yeah. But that's what I have to say on that. Because I'm so tired of individuals hijacking our culture and don't really know our culture because they look like us, but they're not us, man. That's not cool. Peace and love.